From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your afternoon update.
You want to go where to buy a new refrigerator? Steve's A to Z Appliance in Cottonwood? In Cottonwood? Just a 10-minute drive. And they'll save us money. New and used, honest, reliable, factory-trained repair service and parts, and they'll save us money. And dispose of this thing? We gotta make the short drive to Steve's A to Z. Thanks, hon.
Steve's A to Z Appliance, front and main streets in Cottonwood. Drive a little, save a lot.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm meteorologist Mike Krueger, and as expected, we did see some of those showers work their way into the valley here. Most of it didn't reach the ground. There may have been a few spots that saw a sprinkle, a couple of drops, but overall it was pretty much a non-event. Just some clouds, and that certainly had made for a much more pleasant start to the day as well. There were even a few lightning strikes near the Gridley area earlier this morning. That has since then dissipated. Now we're going to be looking at more activity developing later on this afternoon with more thunderstorms in the mountains in particular. But I still expect to see above average highs through the rest of the week, at least through Thursday, before temperatures do start to drop. Mountain thunderstorms again today and possibly tomorrow, maybe even lingering on into your Thursday as well, with a dry lightning threat through those days, and also much cooler weather in store for us by this weekend and early next week. We may even be getting a taste of fall. Wouldn't that be nice? Here's your neighborhood forecast at a quick glance. There's that thunderstorm activity here for basically the mountains north and east of the valley. I'm not anticipating much in the way of any activity here for places like Trinity County or even the North Coast and, of course, the valley as well. But when we look at futurecasts, we will see that there is going to be that potential as it really inches closer to the valley. More on that a little bit later. Here's a look at our fire weather risk here for the rest of the day today. With those winds and the heat, you can see here we're getting into the reds. That's getting into the very high fire danger and fire weather risk. So just bear that in mind here for today. Please, let's use extra caution, especially on the west side of the valley and between Red Bluff and Redding. You can see that the fire weather risk won't be quite as high for your Wednesday, but still high nonetheless. And Thursday, still looking at that moderate to high fire weather risk, still very dry and even some fairly warm conditions. Now the smoke, you can see the main smoke producers are the Blue Fire, Dillon, Log, Peak, Root Fire, and the Springs Fire there in northeastern Tehama County. You can see this evening here, most of the smoke is being blown to the north. And if you notice too, most of that smoke isn't really fanning out and producing a lot of smoke for a lot of different communities. But it looks like we are seeing, with the fire down in Southern California, some of that smoke working its way into parts of Plumas County and eastern portions of Butte and Tehama County as well. That's even into the midday on Wednesday. That dissipates, but then more smoke from the main fires that we do have here in Northern California. Once again, not really fanning out and producing a lot of smoke over the entire region per se. It's just these narrow bands within that line of where that smoke is pushing, which is mainly to the north and east. By the way, if you want to check on the latest on the fires throughout the day, as you know, I do very detailed updates on the fires in the morning hours during my 6 a.m. update and during Coffee with Krueger, but I don't typically talk much about the current fires unless there's something major to talk about and something major happens later in the day. But I don't really talk much about the current fires in the afternoon and evening. So you can throughout the day check the latest on the fires from weathernorcal.com and then click on the fire danger section. All right, let's take a look at the satellite image here, and you can see the clouds that pushed through this morning. You can see we're going to be on the back edge of that here this afternoon, and we'll probably start to see some clearing behind that. If you look here, that rust color there, you'll see a counterclockwise spin. That is an area of low pressure that, number one, has helped to draw up some of the moisture from the south, the monsoon moisture, but number two, a disturbance rotating around that area of low pressure is producing the clouds and the thunderstorms we saw earlier this morning and late last night in southern and central California. And then, of course, it made its way here into northern California, but as I mentioned, it was pretty much a non-event for many of us, just the added cloud cover. So let's take you through the afternoon. There are the thunderstorms popping up. Now, this model, once again, wants to bring some of that activity a little too close for comfort for the eastern portions of the valley here. As you can see here, it's pretty close, but I do think most of it will be in the foothills and the mountains. Also take notice, mainly north and east of the valley. We're not seeing any activity here from this particular forecast model or others that are indicating we'll see any thunderstorms in Trinity County or even western Siskiyou County for that matter. There's 10 o'clock tonight, most of it to the north and to the east. Now, as we go into tonight, tomorrow morning, you see again, it just skirts parts of the valley here late tonight and early tomorrow morning. So don't be surprised if sometime tonight, especially the north end of the valley, there's maybe a shower or even an off chance for a thunderstorm. But you can see by tomorrow morning, most of it is going to be the north in Siskiyou County. By midday on Wednesday, we start to see more afternoon convection, but you can see it's just going to be few and far between, not very active. And it's just very isolated. Still fairly dry for Trinity County and most of western Siskiyou County as well. Then we take you into your Thursday morning, Thursday midday, some showers beginning to develop, more thunderstorms popping up mid-afternoon on Thursday for Siskiyou, Modoc, Lassen, and Plumas counties. And then there you can see by 6 p.m. on Thursday, most of it over Lassen and Modoc counties. And then it starts to kind of dissipate as we go into Thursday night and into your Friday morning. So once again, it just doesn't look like Trinity County is going to get in on much of this action, which is very good. And even western Siskiyou County, not seeing a lot of activity. That's also very good, not from the standpoint of just the dry lightning strikes. That's great. But number two, we have a lot of fires there. And we get a lot of these outflow erratic winds that come out of those thunderstorms, and that can create even more problems with the current fires. So the rain is always nice, right? But typically you don't get a lot of rain with these storm systems, especially these high base thunderstorms that are fairly dry. And the main impact is going to be dry lightning and winds impacting the current fires as well. So we don't want to see those thunderstorms around the fires. So the rest of the day today, it's mainly central eastern Siskiyou County and then Modoc and the mountains east of the valley. As mentioned, I do think tonight there may be a stray shower, maybe a stray thunderstorm just skirting the northeastern portions of the valley. So maybe around Redding, maybe Cottonwood, and then to the northeast of that, say places like Palisadro, for example. Seeing that potential. Bella Vista, right? All of those areas seeing that potential as it skirts late tonight, early tomorrow morning. But I think many of you will probably be asleep and in bed when that is happening. Taking a look at your 7-day forecast for the valley, there's the cooler weather in the forecast. Look at that. By Friday, we're in the low 90s. Upper 80s, mid to upper 80s over the weekend, and that continues much cooler by Monday of next week. For the coast, you've got those temperatures in the mid 60s, no big surprises there. Inland, you've got temperatures dropping down to the upper 80s by the weekend. That's also the case for Trinity County. Let's take you up towards Siskiyou, Modoc County, the eastern mountains. You've got the chance for showers and thunderstorms continuing through Thursday. Then by Friday, I think the chances diminish. Over the weekend, it cools off even more by Monday. That is a look at your afternoon update. I'll have more detailed look at that forecast, latest forecast model data coming up this evening at 6 o'clock. And of course, I'll be live tomorrow morning on Coffee with Krueger at 6:30. Have yourselves a great rest of your afternoon.
Fire spreads quickly. Don't wait until it's too late. Garmin's Tractor Service specializes in field mowing and light tractor work to help protect your family, your property, and those around you. We're fully insured, locally licensed, and ready to help you create the defensible space you need. Call or text Garmin's Tractor Service today. Protect what matters before fire strikes you.